Oh, YouTube, we are back with some pretty big gaming news. We usually do the every other day upload schedule currently, but when there's something big and we need to talk about it, we'll definitely make a video. And what we have today, of course, is Microsoft acquired Bethesda. They outright are buying like ZeniMax Media. Like, it's not even just they're buying it from ZeniMax Media. From what I've read, they're acquiring ZeniMax. But them acquiring Bethesda means that they now own Bethesda Softworks, Bethesda Game Studios, id Software, ZeniMax Online Studios, Arcane, Machine Games, Tango Gameworks, AlphaDog, Roundhouse Studios, which of course means they own the Elder Scrolls series, Fallout, Wolfenstein, Doom, Dishonored, Prey, Quake, Starfield, and many more. And it's being reported that they made this purchase with like $7.5 billion, which is a lot of goddamn money. That's more than what like Disney bought Star Wars, for example. Almost double what they bought Star Wars for. So this is a massive investment on Microsoft's part. They definitely have that kind of money. They're like $1 trillion company or some shit. So $7.5 billion's not necessarily a lot of money for Microsoft as a whole, but it's still a lot of goddamn money to spend. So, what does this mean going forward when it comes to Xbox? Well, the gameplay in the background is not a coincidence. It's not an accident. We got to get it out of the way here at the beginning. New Vegas 2 is an actual possibility now, man. And that's a game we talked about a few times here on the channel, mainly whenever Microsoft was acquiring Obsidian. My main point of discussion when talking about New Vegas 2 was that Microsoft acquires Obsidian, and Bethesda's always had a good working relationship with Xbox and Microsoft, so there's always that possibility. Well, now, Microsoft literally owns Bethesda. It's more possible now than literally ever. Now, exactly how likely is it that we'd ever get a New Vegas 2? It's pretty unlikely, in my opinion, simply because we've never had a Fallout game that really revisits the same location, right? To make a New Vegas 2 means we'd have to come back to this area again. We have to go back to the area of New Vegas. I'm not against the idea of that, and it'd be interesting if we could get a Fallout game that's actually like a direct sequel to some degree. Like, maybe a pick up sometime after the canonical ending of New Vegas, which off the top of my head, I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's like the NCR or something based on some shit that's in Fallout 4. Something else I find interesting, too, is that Microsoft owns Inxile, which makes the Wasteland games, which is headed by Brian Fargo, who used to be a part of Interplay. Interplay, of course, made Fallout 1 and 2. So in a roundabout way, these days, Microsoft owns Interplay, Obsidian, and Bethesda, all the studios that have ever worked on the Fallout series. So honestly, it'd be pretty great if they could get kind of everybody together to work on a numbered Fallout entry. That'd be fantastic. If they could all get together and work on Fallout 5 and just have people that can pull from all eras of Fallout. And actually, when it comes to New Vegas 2, people are tweeting obviously at Obsidian about this, and they actually addressed it with a response. This person tweeted and said, "So Fallout New Vegas is a legit possibility now, right?" And they just quote tweeted it with the shrugging emoticon. Still using emoticons in 2020. So take from that whatever you will. It's obviously not a confirmation of anything, and who knows if we'll ever see another Obsidian-influenced Fallout game, but it's more possible now than ever. So Fallout New Vegas 2 aside, which we had to talk about first, obviously we had to get that out of the way, the other topic of discussion here from Microsoft acquiring Bethesda is the topic of exclusives. So first up, we have a statement from Todd Howard in regards to Microsoft buying Bethesda, and we don't need to read the entire thing, but there is a part of it that seems to imply that their games, at least going forward for now, will be multi-plat. Todd says, "Like our original partnership, this one is about more than one system or one screen. We share a deep belief in the fundamental power of games and their ability to connect, empower, and bring joy, and a belief that we should bring that to everyone, regardless of who you are, where you live, or what you play on, regardless of the screen size of the controller or your ability to even use one." So it definitely seems to imply that there wouldn't be any exclusives going forward, at least full-on exclusives. There already are timed exclusives for Bethesda with Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop on PlayStation, which we'll talk about in a minute. But at the end of the day, it's not really up to Bethesda, right? They're not an independent developer. They're owned by somebody. And if Microsoft wanted an exclusive Fallout game, they kind of got to do it. Now, whether or not Microsoft would go that route, I don't know. They seem to be really in it for the money, right? Like, they want to make the most money possible, and you don't make the most money by having exclusive titles, right? If you can sell on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, multi-gen, multi-plat, you're going to make a lot more money. Now, speaking of Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop, Phil Spencer has said that Microsoft will honor the PS5 exclusivity, which I thought was interesting for starters just because they're willing to honor it, but secondly because it seems like they could break it if they wanted to. Like, I don't know the ins and outs of game development, but maybe there's something within the contracts or the fine print that if Bethesda's bought out by somebody else, they could mess with the exclusivity stuff. Like, it seems like Microsoft could, if they wanted to, get rid of that PS5 exclusivity and make Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo, Xbox Series X exclusives if they wanted to. Phil Spencer also said that going forward, future Bethesda games will be on Xbox, PC, and other consoles on a case-by-case basis. Which that quote certainly seems to imply that in the future there could be some exclusives. I just don't know if they're going to do that with the big franchises like Elder Scrolls and Fallout. Those have been on every platform for a long time now, right? They had not been exclusive to anything. It'd be such an odd switch for Fallout 5 to come out or Elder Scrolls 6 to come out and it's only on Xbox and that's it, and PC of course, but only on Xbox. That'd piss off a lot of people, and you're missing out on money doing that. And by the way, when we're talking about the Bethesda franchises in this video, you can replace Elder Scrolls and Fallout with, Doom and Wolfenstein and some of the other ones, Dishonored or whatever. They're definitely in the discussion as well. I'm just using the bigger franchises for this video. One route they could take is making branch-off games that are exclusive to Xbox or maybe timed exclusive. So, for example, we're talking about Fallout New Vegas 2. You could do Fallout New Orleans or whatever the case, right? Not a numbered entry, just a branch-off style game that could be timed or just straight-up exclusive to Xbox. And I think that's an interesting route they could take. Like, Fallout 5 could still come out on PlayStation, Xbox, and everything day one, but these branch-off games could be exclusive to the Xbox brand. Something else I've heard people discuss as well is like DLC coming first to Xbox. So, for example, Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, 17 years from now. Whenever it gets its first DLC or expansion, like it could be exclusive to Xbox for, the first month or something. But truthfully, they don't even have to do exclusives because of something like Game Pass. A game launches on PS5 and Series X at the same time, but you can get it on Game Pass day one. You're already paying $10 a month for Game Pass, so you can kind of get the game for free. Or you can go out and buy it on PS5 for $70. Like, what's the better option? Xbox, of course. It's something people don't talk about enough, regardless of your console superiority. Whether you're PlayStation or Xbox, like Game Pass is by far the best value in gaming. There's no arguing that, there's no denying that. Like when a game launches at $60 on every other platform, or I guess with next gen it's all going to be $70, but you can get it day one on Game Pass that you're already subscribed to, like that's a fantastic value. Now, to be honest, I have no idea how the hell Microsoft makes some money off of Game Pass. Even if there's a shit ton of people that are subscribed to the service, it's like, games cost tens of millions of dollars to make, sometimes $100+ million to make. So whenever people can just get it, technically for free whenever it launches, like, I don't know how they make money. But they do. Now, this announcement happening today, Bethesda being acquired by Microsoft, is by no means an accident. The Series X goes on pre-order tomorrow, September 22nd. So this was definitely something to try to boost those pre-order sales. Now, as for my overall thoughts on this, man, I think it's a fantastic grab for Xbox. I believe it's definitely one of the biggest gaming purchases out there, if not the biggest ever. $7.5 billion is a lot of fucking money. I think Xbox does need some exclusives. I just don't know the route they're going to take. I don't know if they're going to do that with maybe the Wolfenstein brand or the Doom or Dishonored brand, or if they're going to do that with the Fallout Elder Scrolls brand or Starfield. I don't know. I think the upcoming titles will definitely be multi-plat. Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield will come out on everything, but beyond that, who knows? Now, when it comes to the reaction overall to this acquisition by Microsoft, it's been mixed. I've seen people that are positive about it because it's good that Bethesda now has a better parent company than ZeniMax Media. But then there's people that are talking shit. You have the PlayStation fanboys. You'd be surprised the amount of PlayStation fans that I've seen that claim that they don't even play these franchises anyways. They don't care. Like, if that's actually the case, then what does it matter? Like, why are you weighing in on this topic if you don't play the games regardless? I've also seen multiple people say stuff like, I can't wait for, Xbox and Microsoft to ruin these franchises and Obsidian can finally buy Fallout. And it's like, dude, just shut the hell up. Like, why are people so negative all the time? Not that I really fall into the console superiority discussion very often or really care about the exclusive discussion, but when it comes to the Sony fans, they trash Xbox all the time for not having good exclusives. Microsoft goes out and buys Bethesda, which has a bunch of fantastic games and IPs, and they're still talking shit. It's like what more do you want, man? Regardless, Microsoft is making fantastic moves by acquiring Bethesda. It's one of the best grabs you can get in the gaming industry. It just remains to be seen what they do with this acquisition. Will there be exclusives? Will there not be? And will we finally get goddamn New Vegas 2? It'll be interesting to see what the future holds. Anyways, that's the video, my dudes. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on Microsoft acquiring Bethesda? Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We'll stay updated with more Xbox, Fallout, Elder Scrolls content. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Turn on my notifications. Follow me on Twitter at @dashingdavid. I'm a Discord. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.
Who's laughing now? Yes, I was in the chess club.
Used to care what people thought, but now I care more, and nobody out here's got it figured out. So therefore, I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect. We spend it with no shame. We blow that like Coltrane. We in here like Logain or leave it like Cobain.